the late afternoon games, there are 3 of them. Actually, there are 4. The Broncos, Patriots got moved. We already discussed them. The first one of these is Dolphins at 49ers. There's no line here because we don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play or not. I saw -8 when on the look-ahead line and early on Tuesday, but all the lines are now off the board. So for the third time, I'll ask you, what do you think this line will be, and any thoughts on this game?
I'm kind of bummed because I thought I had seen an 8.5, but I did not. I just looked at Bovada, but that is gone. I would have been on the Dolphins at 8.5. I think if Jimmy Garoppolo plays, then we're probably talking about, I don't know what it would be. Probably, what would you assume that 8.5 is if Garoppolo plays, or is that if Mullins would play?
I thought that was Mullins plays or
okay. That's what I was running on the assumption too, but I wanted to double check that. So if Garoppolo plays, we're talking about double digits. If Mullins plays, it's probably going to be 8.5. I like the Dolphins either way in this scenario. I see no reason that the 49ers should be favored by more points than the Seahawks were favored by against Miami last week. I know different home teams in this case, so that will swing the line a couple points, but first of all, if it's Nick Mullins, I'm not betting on him or Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard. I'm not betting on either of them as a massive, more than a touchdown favorite against a Miami team that's pretty good throwing the ball. So I think that matchup will benefit Miami, especially with the 49ers banged up on the back end. And then if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo playing and this gets into double digits, I still like Miami because I think Miami's better than people are giving them credit for. And I think the 49ers are just worse in general. They're banged up. They haven't been that dynamic. Yeah, they've beat some teams, but they also just lost to the Eagles. And, they barely scored on them and they couldn't get enough pressure on Wentz to make enough impact plays. So I think I'll be on the Dolphins here. I don't know what the line's going to be, but if this line gets up above 7, it's probably going to be a pretty big play for me.
Yeah, think about who the Dolphins have played so far this year. They played the Patriots in week 1 with Cam Newton. And the Patriots won that game 21-11. And I think at the time people were like, that's not that impressive. The Patriots aren't as good. And then we saw that the Patriots are actually good with Cam Newton. They almost beat the Chiefs last night with Brian Hoyer, or at least until the meltdown in the fourth quarter. And then week 2, they lost to the Bills by 3. They needed a backdoor touchdown to get there, but the Bills actually scored like a front door touchdown beforehand. So this is like a close game at home against the Bills, who are 4-0. And then they clobbered the Jaguars week 3, whatever. And then last week they played the Seahawks. It was a very close game for a while. I believe 17-16, I think at one point. So that was a tight game as well. So the Dolphins have played 2 teams that are 4-0 right now. Another team that's 2-2 should have a better record. And their one win over a bad team was a blowout victory. So I agree. I mean, this Dolphin team is a lot better than people think they are. They're very well coached. They have some good players on both sides of the ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick, obviously not a good quarterback, but he's not terrible. Like he'll make smart decisions most of the time. And he has very good receivers, and those receivers have a great matchup in this game because the Niners are going to be down their top 3 cornerbacks in all likelihood. And if that's the case, I feel like Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Isaiah Ford, they should all dominate this game. And then you have Mike Gesicki, who should have a good game as well. So, I think the Dolphins are the right play here. If it's +8, definitely. I made this line 49ers -3.5. I think this line's way too high. That assumes that Garoppolo's out. If Garoppolo plays, I think this line will be like -11, -10.5, and I would make that line probably 49ers -6 or something. Either way, we're getting points. If Mullins plays, we're getting 8 with the better quarterback. And if Garoppolo plays, we're getting double digits with a team that's actually that's been pretty good this year and every week. So, the Dolphins might be my pick of the month. We'll see what happens with the injury report. But, I love Miami.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense. And I agree with you. I thought 3.5 was the number I had in my head for Garoppolo, but I spent so much time doing mental gymnastics of being without Garoppolo. I see. I can't even get it right now. My brain just can't process what this line is supposed to be. But yeah, -3.5 is what I had with Mullins, Beathard, and then I thought like 6.5 with Garoppolo. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just not coming out right now.
Nice. Yeah, it is confusing. There are 3 games with no line, so I think we're kind of all over the place.